Hey everybody, how's it going? Travel Man Dan here, and welcome to the weekly beer and video review show. It is on and it is happening. Nate, what's up? I see Nate Messick is in the house already. We are popping. We are ready to go. It is Friday night, and man, old man, and lady, old lady, we have an amazing, fun show to go tonight. Tonight's going to be so exciting because, well, we got some fun and interesting beers we're going to try. I got some great videos that I want to talk about. We have a really cool segment and a fun questionnaire for what would you rather, and the eat it or not is sensational. I think I had a little peek at it, and boy, I can't wait till you guys see it. So let me know where you're calling in from, where you're watching in, where you're at in the world. I'd love to hear from you. Go ahead and comment. I'll go ahead and respond back to you. But if you're new to the show, that's what we do. If you're a longtime member of the show and you're hopping on, thank you so much for the support. As I continue to grow, as I continue to develop this show, my channel, I'm so appreciative of the support that you give me, and I can't say thank you enough. We have nobody in the room, and it is just me. It's like the old times, right? All right. I used to do this very, very fun little show. Probably, let's see, I would have been about 60. I think this is the 69 or 68th or 70, somewhere in there show that I did. And when I first started doing it, Lord, I tell you, and the only people I had in the room were Barrow, Tenacious Freak, and Greg Z. And I was, even before that, I think I had nobody in the room. So here we are again, 70 shows later, and we have absolutely nobody in the room watching, but maybe you can catch us on replay. I'm not going to wait for you, but I hope that you show up or watch on the replay. Either way, you're going to have some fun. So let's go ahead and introduce tonight's first beer. Tonight's first beer that we're going to be reviewing, to be honest with you, I'm not really thrilled. I'm a bit anxious. I feel like it really just doesn't align with my tastes. I don't like the stuff being put into this thing. I'm not even sure if it categorizes as a beer, but it's quite popular. It's people are familiar with it. And, well, before we get started with the beer, I'm going to go ahead and bring in Test Bunny right off the bingo bango because he's ready to go. He wants to try this beer, and let's bring him in for the show. Hey, welcome to the show, Nate Messick. All right.
Gentleman Dan.
What's going on, man? All right.
How are you?
Very good.
I feel like you just left.
What's that?
I said I feel like you just left.
I know. It's very weird. 1 week ago, we were, I was in the other room. Frank is here. Welcome, Frank. 1 week ago, I was in that room with you, or close. I was in that house with you, and we were drinking. And I thought, you know what? I had such a good time that I would go ahead and bring you back. It looks like your EOS webcam utility popped out, and he's back. Folks, he is messing around. But good to see you, Nate. Good to see you here. We got Frank in the house, and we're going to try something. Yeah, we're going to try something new today. Ladies and gentlemen, people around the world, I told you before, I'm not really thrilled about this beer. Doesn't really interest me. To be honest with you, I think they're kind of gross. We are going to be drinking this one right here, the Bud Light Chelada Clamato. Check that out, okay? No, that is not good. What's up, guys? Started watching the Gummy Bear Touch.
Dude, I'm loving it.
That is scary. What's up, Frank? I am really not interested in this beer. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read to you what it says on the can. Premium light lager with natural flavors and vegetable juice for color. Okay, once again, nothing for taste. Vegetable juice for color. Natural flavors. Okay, there's nothing in here that is for taste, and I am not looking forward to that. But we are going to try it. Hey, Banana, welcome. Shanna Banana. Now, Nate, you actually enjoy these, don't you?
I do. I like them. I actually, growing up, I used to drink, we used to call them bloody beers, I think. And I think my old man used to drink Red Wolf and tomato juice. Do you remember Red Wolf?
Oh, yeah. I remember right after Red Dog, or right around that period.
Yeah, it was Red Dog. Get a 30-pack of Red Dog.
Ugh. All right, here's what we're going to do, guys. So I do not like this, so I'm going to go ahead and doctor it up a little bit. I got this lime or lemon, whatever you want to call it or whatever, and we're going to go ahead and give this sucker a real good rim job, right? I'm going to rim this sucker up, all right? I'm going to really coat up the rim, here with juicy lemon. And then I have this device. Check this out. This is the Tajin Sombrero. So if you've never seen this before, let me show you inside. This is Tajin. It is like chili flakes. Wow, who do we got in here? We have Christine. Yes, welcome. Christine is here. Welcome. Hi, Christine. Welcome, Shanna. And so what we do is we go ahead and we take our glass that has just been rim jobbed with the lemon, and we go ahead and we put it into this Tajin hot sauce, and it gives it a little peppery flake feeling each sip. All right, so I guess this ain't too bad. So take a look at my cup. All right, it's got a little dirty area around it. Now let's go ahead and crack this Chelada. Nate, are you ready?
Dude, you want to pour it? I'm actually, I don't like to pour my beers, but I'm going to pour this one.
Okay,
ready?
Guys, here it comes. This is the premium lager. All right, let's take. Oh no, dude, take a look at that.
Oh yeah,
this is gross.
A beaut.
Oh man. Okay, so take a look. It's a very foamy. It is Bud Light, which they say a premium lager. We'll go ahead and review Bud Light at a later time. Wow, yours does look good. It's really red. It's got a grapefruit citric look to it. Right away, the smell. Okay. Yuck.
Oh,
there they are.
Man,
Brendan,
crazy.
welcome to the show. No, this is
disgusting.
Bud Light with vegetable juice. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this all the way to the top, guys. I really, I did one of these on one of the earliest duo shows that I've ever drank with Brendan Messick, and we are foaming all over the place. I'm going in for it. Let's go. The foam on my beer is dancing. Okay, must be mixing with the chili flake. I'm going in for a sip. I'll let you know what it tastes like.
All right, let's do it. Dude, that's phenomenal.
Wow. Okay. All right.
There you go.
All right, not too bad.
It's good.
Not as bad as I thought it would be. It's really not that bad. Yeah, it does look good. Not even a red but it's a Bud Light. Yeah, that's right. Frank, disgusting, says Shanna. Yeah, Shanna, the first sip that I took, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. I feel like I taste a lot of the Bud Light, and there isn't a real pungent smell or taste of the vegetable juice. But one thing I do like is this Tajin Sombrero. Really gives it a nice little kick of hot sauce, gives it a peppery feeling. Nate, let me know what your first sip tasted like.
Yeah, I mean, I actually get a strong hint of the clam, whatever that Clamato is, which is kind of like it's a mix between tomato juice and clam juice. Mm-hmm. So I get a strong taste of that. It tastes like a Bud Light with tomato juice and clam juice in it. I love it. I think it's great.
Okay, well, I don't really taste any clammy taste. I'm glad because I don't know how clam juice would taste in a beer, but it does taste okay. Yeah, that's what they say. But when I open up a clam and I think about drinking the juice, it doesn't really appeal to me. But hey, I've drank worse. You're the test bunny from Eat It or Not, so you're probably used to that kind of stuff. And you know what, Nate? That's why we're going to go ahead. I'm going to segue into the video that came out today. So you love a clam everything.
Anything.
Yeah. The clam is in there, but very similar. Okay. So what I want to talk to you about is the new structure. So we've been testing it out. I have some things I have to take care of the weekend. So we're testing out this new time slot. You can let me know down in the comments if you like this time slot. We may go back to the Sunday. We may keep this. It's kind of a trial run while I continue to do what I need to do on Sundays. So while how it lined up is Food Friday videos are also coming out each and every Friday. So we had one come out today. And today's Food Friday, I got to tell you, was one of the funnest Food Fridays I've ever filmed. I filmed it with this guy over here. I guess he'll be over here. Nate, okay, we filmed it at his house last week on my birthday. And we did the Little Nitro Gummy Bear. And if you haven't seen that video, cheers, Nate. We made it through it. We did it. I'm going to go ahead and take another sip of this Bud Light Clamato.
Dude, give it a good whack, man. Drink half of that. I think it's awesome. I can drink 5 of these.
Not a fan. Not a fan. But, guys, I don't know if you've seen that. If you get a chance, be sure to check it out. It's one of the funnest videos for me, like I said. It was also one of the hardest contest, food challenge, whatever the heck you want to call it, that I've ever done. It's just the world's hottest gummy bear. It's 9 million Scoville units. Let's hear about this food. Frank, I know if you've seen it. Listen, we did the Fuego white chocolate box a few months back. Nate, what'd you think of the Fuego white chocolate box?
It was a piece of cake. It was a breeze compared to that gummy bear. The gummy bear was over the top. And you know what? It wasn't even the pain in the mouth was really tough to deal with. You saw me, the chest and the stomach. I was laid out in my backyard because of how bad it was. It was brutal for me.
It was brutal. And you know, the Fuego white chocolate was hot for me. Oh, no, it's dancing again. But I'll tell you, this thing was levels beyond what we experienced. Yeah, literally, I thought my ears were going to start smoking. I was trembling, okay? There was bouts where I couldn't breathe, and then when I would breathe, my eyeballs would get bigger. For some reason, I must have a really strong gut because I don't feel anything. Once it crosses here, I didn't feel it in my chest. I felt it a little bit in the beginning, but I didn't feel anything in the stomach. But if you haven't checked it out, if you haven't seen it, maybe you're thinking about, having this experience. I definitely recommend that you be careful. Don't play jokes on people because it's really not funny, man. It's some serious hate. How was the next day?
You can hurt somebody doing that for sure.
You can. Shanna, like I said, no problem. Next day was fine. I think that it breaks up or something. How was the next day? Both Frank and Shanna want to know how the next day was. Does it counteract?
I didn't get affected at all the next day. Like as soon as the stomach and the chest was gone, I didn't feel anything.
Yeah, Frank, it doesn't counteract the Popeye. It gives you a whole different eye feeling. I don't know how to explain it, but guys, check out that video. Let me know what you think. That's the little nitro. This is what we're drinking as I'm spilling it all over the place. Is the Bud Light Chelada Clamato.
I love watching you drink this. You're so uncomfortable drinking it. You don't like it.
You know, I'm not a huge fan of V8. I like my vegetables, eating my vegetables just regular. I don't like drinking my vegetables. It's not as bad as I thought. One thing that happens with this tahini is on the outside right here, it dries up. So you kind of got to lick it like you're licking, you just got to open up your mouth and put it on the rim. But it's hot and it's spicy. And we get into that Bud Light. There ain't much going on with Bud Light. It's a simple, watery lager. But there's just something weird that I taste in here. Maybe it's that clam juice. Maybe it's the vegetable juice. Like I said, I don't necessarily hate this, but I'm not loving it. Nate, what do you think?
You know I'm all about this kind of stuff. It's a little bit different, a little bit wacky. It's got that. It definitely has a tomato flavor to it. But you know what else it is? It's not heavy. It's not heavy like a Bloody Mary is. It's actually very light. And I think during the summertime, if you were out at a picnic and you had 3 or 4 of these, I think it would be perfect.
Yeah, I think that's a valid point. Is it isn't heavy. And Frank, yes, I did. I filled it up because I did the 24-ounce can, or it's a bigger can. So yes, I did fill it up. Murphy just told me to get one of those. Get the tahini hat. It's at Bevmo. You'll definitely enjoy that. But we're getting through it. If you haven't seen that video on Little Nitro, be sure to check it out because you get these two guys right here. Just it was intense. Clam juice better than Mountain Dew, says Homer. Well, Homer knows a thing about drinking. So guys, we're drinking these, and they're very popular in Mexican restaurants. We just came upon Cinco de Mayo, which is a weird little holiday that I want to go ahead and talk about. Cinco de Mayo, a lot of people think that we celebrate it here in the United States because it is Mexico's independence. That is not true, okay? We do not celebrate Cinco de Mayo because of Mexican independence. We celebrate it, okay, because it got brought over somehow, some way. I don't know the origins of how it developed in the United States, but it actually commemorates the day that Mexico beat France in what's known as the Battle of Puebla, okay? It was a fight, and they kicked France out of the city, the battleground. I'm not going to get too much into it because this isn't this day in Mexican history, but that's the real reason we celebrate Cinco de Mayo. For whatever reason, it has opened up the floodgates here in North America, United States, to just get hammered.
It's a reason to drink, dude. It's the St. Patty's Day of Mexico.
It's the I like that. Okay, so with that being just a few days ago, we decided to go ahead and put a little spin on things. We don't have a guest today, but we do have the Chelada, which is a very popular in Mexico, in Mexican restaurants all around North America, probably much of the world.
This day in North American history.
Okay, not bad. One thing I like about the tahini is it adds a nice salt flavor. But yeah, really not bad. Not as bad as I predicted, but I'm not loving it. You pouring more in there. What do you got, Nate?
Dude, wait till my score comes out. I think I'm hitting 30, 25, man, whatever the top is, because I absolutely love this. It's different. It's interesting. If you want to try something a little bit different on a summer holiday picnic day, try this butte. Phenomenal.
Frank, you're right. I more like the salt than got a little spice. Got a little spice to it.
Did you put a little nitro in there?
No. But I would like to see what would happen if I did 2 of them. Oh my, we would be hurting bad. But anyway,
hey, Danny, one thing you haven't brought up, which I'm a little bit surprised. Can I do a quick what would you rather off script here?
Sure.
What would you rather, May the 4th or Cinco de Mayo?
That's easy, man.
It is?
Yeah.
All right, what's your answer?
May the 4th.
May the 4th. What does that mean?
It's kind of a spin. First of all, John Galvin, welcome to the show. I think this is the first time you hopped on.
All right.
A big warm welcome. Good to see you. Good to have you here. Clamato juice is great in a drink. John, I got to disagree. But this guy next to me, he's definitely a fan of it. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's not as bad as I thought it was. Going back to your what would you rather, the reason I like how many Scoville units in the Bud Light, I don't know, probably not much. One of the reasons I really like the May the 4th, it's a spin off of May the Force Be With You, some weird, cliche, weird Star Wars holiday. It's not a true holiday, but a bunch of geeks walk around and call May the 4th Be With You. That's pretty much it. So I like them both. The 3rd of May. Okay, welcome, John Galvin. Yes, let's give a big word. I'm heading out, so I have to sign up. Shanna, have a good weekend. Mike, I'll finish the last later. All right, good to see you, Shanna. Good to have you here, John. All right, we're getting through it. If you're just joining us, this is what we're drinking, the Bud Light Chelada Clamato. Okay, it is it's not as bad as I thought, but I'm not really loving it. One thing I do like is this tahini hat that I added. This thing's really great. I'll put it down in the link if you want to go to Bevmo, or I'll find out where you can go ahead and order this off of Amazon. If you're going to try this type of drink or maybe another type of drink, this probably would be fun to have no matter what you're drinking because it is spicy and it adds with the flavor of the beer. Moving on. I had a great time in Vegas. You saw the little nitro video or not? That's where we filmed it. We filmed last week's the beer video. That was a lot of fun. If you haven't seen that, another video that you're going to be coming out with, and Nate doesn't know this is kind of a surprise because I didn't tell him about it because I completely forgot. But I was listening to the radio the day after me and Nate filmed this video that is coming out at the end of this month. We went to White Castle, okay? And it was a lot of fun. If you've not known White Castle, you'll be able to see it. Dan, you like Fresco? Nice, okay? So White Castle is a burger joint, but check this out. So I'm driving into the car. I guess it would have been Monday, and I'm listening to the sports radio out of Buffalo, and they're talking about what's the longest wait you've ever waited in line? And ironically, me and Nate had just waited an hour at the White Castle, and I'll be sure to go ahead and document in the video so you can check it out. We waited a freaking hour to get these little sack hamburgers. You remember that, Nate?
It was worth it.
Was it worth it? Yeah.
Wow, it was awesome. You know, I mean, of course, it was really slow. I think part of it was because they didn't have the inside wasn't open. Probably still some COVID restrictions there, but, you know, so there was more people in the drive-thru, but it was awesome.
It wasn't that bad. But here's what I wanted to tell you. So they were talking on sports radio, what's the longest? Apparently, people waited in Atlanta 4 hours at a White Castle, ironically. So I'm thinking to myself, was there something going on? Did White Castle maybe close its doors nationwide or something happened? Because I was like, wait a minute, that's funny. I just waited an hour in White Castle in Vegas. So what's the longest you've ever waited in line? 1 hour, Frank. And we were filming. So once we started the video, we didn't want to pull out of the video. But, cheers to you, Nate. Cheers to drinking or eating White Castle. The video's coming out. I mean, appearance-wise, it's a delicious-looking beer. It doesn't even look like a beer.
It looks like strawberry lemonade.
Yeah, that is good. That is a good reference of what it looks like. So let me know. We don't have a guest today, but we do have this guy right here, and it's time for me to hand it over to him. Okay, he's going to be bringing in right now, Eat It or Not segment, one of our favorite segments of the show. What are you going to be bringing to the show today? Bring it out here. Talk to us.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to my segment, Eat It or Not. And since we're going through the Cinco de Mayo kind of Mexican Chelada, Clamato, that's our theme. The second beer is going to be a Mexican-style cerveza. And so I wanted to stay on theme, and I made a homemade torta. So for those of you out there that are unfamiliar with that sandwich, it's a Mexican sandwich. It's kind of like a Mexican burger, if you will, if you take some liberties on that. I'm sure I'm probably offending somebody somewhere with that description, but typically it's a sandwich made with some Mexican white bread, like a roll, and then inside is where you get creative. You can put, fried pork in there, carne asada, which is steak, shrimp. There's a million different things you can put in there.
Nitros.
Little nitros. No. So for mine, for the reveal here, I made one from home. I made a carnitas torta, which I'm super excited about. I haven't even flipped it over yet. I'm kind of just going to show you what it looks like open face. So from here, I'm going to stand up. So here we got some jalapenos. These are like roasted jalapenos. There's cotija cheese, which is kind of like the Mexican version of feta cheese. Underneath here, if you can see, there's guacamole. It's laced on the bread here. On the other side, this is all chunky roasted carnita pork. And if you don't know what carnitas is, it's a slow roasted chunked pork from Mexico. And usually you're going to find either a tequila in there or maybe an orange juice for some flavor. But overall, this is your pretty much a classic torta, or my classic torta. Pickled onions on there, which I made when Danny was here last week. So that's it. I'm going to try and get this thing loaded. I'm going to cut it so you guys can see the inside.
Dude, that looks amazing, man. That looks so good right now.
Wow. Hold on 1 second. Wait till you see this.
He's cutting it up. Give us a side view of that thing.
Boom. Look at that.
Oh, man. Look at that. That looks wow.
You see the jalapeno, the pork, the tomato. And so I got refried beans lined on the bottom of it. You guys want to see me take a bite?
Hell yeah.
All right, dude. Here we go.
All right, let's get in there.
I was going to order it, and I was like, F it. I'm just going to make it. I know what I'm doing. There we go.
All right.
There's the inside of that bugger. All right, here we go.
Look at that.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Happy Cinco de Mayo. Oh, yeah, get that face around there. Man.
Oh, freaking.
How is it? Is it good?
It's awesome. It's exactly what you want. The bread on the outside, there's a little bit of crust to it. inside is very soft and moist, and it just works perfectly with the guacamole. You can really get a blast of that guacamole. The pickled onions add a different element to it. The pork is phenomenal. If you guys have never tried a torta, please go to your local Mexican restaurant, wherever you are in this world, and find a torta. I was thinking about tacos and burritos. Those have been done to death. The one thing that hasn't been done to death is the torta.
Yeah, that thing is, you're inspiring me to go make a Food Friday video at one of my favorite places, El Gallo Hero. It's kind of like a chain here in Los Angeles, and they serve what's called the Doble Cubana Torta, and it's a double quattro, okay? It's got 4 different meats on it. I think I'm going to go and check it out. That looks amazing. I love the jalapenos on there. I love something about when like jalapenos mix in there with avocado, and you got the spicy heat, and then that kind of like on with the okay, what's going on? You should try elotes, says John. Yes, those are delicious. Corn. We have hey JC Boom, welcome to the show. All right, we have somebody new. Welcome. Let's give him the hello. And let's say, Frank, yes, you can do it. Get a tour of the kitchen. I would love to. As things start to open up, I'm able now to go ahead and get more and more looks inside restaurants, inside kitchens, inside the places. When I first started the channel before the pandemic, now we're going into places. And I got something special coming up to you guys. We're going to be going into breweries probably a little bit after the summer once things clear up here in California and Nevada. And I'm going to go ahead and be showing you guys brewery tours where it's twisted in with Food Friday. But if you know me, I'm a very regular dude, loves drinking beer, loves eating delicious food. I'm so happy to see new people here. Although we don't have a regular audience, that's the hardest part about this time zone. We usually have about 20 other people here live popping in, saying what's up. But due to my schedule, things had to be changed. So the European people, the people on the other side of the globe, it's actually 4 and 5 in the morning. So good to have whoever's here. We're continuing on with the show. Nate, that looked amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that on Eat It or Not. I got to go ahead and ask you, do you eat it or not?
You got to eat it. It's a phenomenal sandwich. It's a little bit different than your normal, if you're American, a lot of our community is not. You know what a typical sandwich is like, or what a burger is like. This is completely different. Tons of flavors. Got that Mexican flavor profile. If you like Mexican food, please try the torta and eat it. Absolutely eat it. Thank you.
No problem. And my friend JC Boom Show right there. Go ahead and support his channel. He is, I know his family is from Mexico, and good to have you here. And we are drinking these, JC. I don't know if you like these or not. If you can comment on these, if your family likes it. This is the Bud Light Chelada. We have the tahine, okay, that I've rimmed around my cup. Okay, it's a delicious drink that is not only popular in Mexican restaurants, but all throughout North America. It is starting to grow. I'm not a huge fan of it. Yes, I'm getting to like it. It's a little weird for me. I feel like this drink will be better on a hot day somewhere in Mexico, but we're almost done with it, and then I'll go ahead and give it a score. Let me go ahead and swig this down, and we'll continue on moving. But yes, JC, I wish you well, and I hope you're doing well. I miss you, bro, and cheers to you, man. All right. I don't know. It's just such a weird taste. Just a weird taste to me. It's almost like a meal. What's up with the observatory? Frank, the observatory is where I used to work. I used to work at the Griffith Observatory, the famous Griffith Observatory. I no longer work there, but I worked there with JC. He's a great guy. Try torta de carnitas.
That's what that was.
That's Nate, show JC. Maybe he popped up.
Here you go, JC. Here you
JC,
go.
This is what my man is eating right there. Okay, there it is. Homemade. If you're new to the show and you're just hopping on, or you haven't seen it, Nate is the test bunny who runs a segment on every week show called Eat It or Not. And Nate, why don't you tell us a little bit about your show for people that are just hopping on?
Yeah, listen, I'm just trying to maybe shine a light on foods from around the world that you've never tried, never heard of. We really want to challenge your taste buds, get you to eat things that you normally wouldn't eat or you've never heard about. And that's what we did here with the week of Cinco de Mayo, where we're celebrating Mexican food, Mexican beer, cheladas, cervezas, and here's the torta. So maybe you've never heard of this thing. If you haven't, go check it out and eat it. 100% eat it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, and that's one thing that I want to bring a light of. Like you said, there's a lot of people that don't know traditional Mexican food. Like there's things like shrimp cocktail that people think it's just like a shrimp and you dip it in cocktail sauce. But in Mexico and in Latin America, cocktail de camarones is much, much different. Okay, you have Mexican mole, completely different, off the charts, things that you would never know. And one thing I like about this show is it brings people from around the world to gather, to have a beer, to socialize for about an hour and 20 minutes, and to go ahead and bring them and interest them and maybe some foods that they never heard of, like a torta or a haggis or some other weird cultural thing that you've tried, like the 1,000-year-old egg. So love that you're here. Hopefully you'll find some value in this, because a lot of Americans think Mexican food is only like tacos, but they don't understand the deep, rich cultural aspect of Mexican food. Mexico is a big country. It's got a north and a south that are in the food and ethnic tastes. Right, Nate?
Hey, man, and you know, the American palate,
Is Nate
I
frozen?
love American food. Am I froze? Or no, I think it's Danny's froze.
No,
But yeah,
good,
the American palate's been dumbed down a little bit. I'm good or you're good?
We're good. We're rolling.
Yeah. So, you know, I here in the States, you know, we need to kind of find some of these foods from around the world that are a little bit different, that are exciting. You know, the American palate's been dumbed down so much that when you find something like a torta or when you find something like haggis, yeah, it might be just a little bit different, a little bit off, but it's also exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad that you sometimes you bring stuff that you find in weird elements, and sometimes you go ahead and cook it. So if you're new to the show and you want to see more about food, you want to find out more about it each and every week on the Weekly Beer and Video Review Show, my man, the Test Buddy, will be coming to you and introducing foods. And here's another thing, guys. If you're ever interested in being on the show, if you're ever interested in just coming on and being a guest on the show, you're from a different country, or maybe your parents are and you were raised in a different background, or if you were brought up in a different place here in the United States, I'd love to have you. Go ahead and DM me. Let me know when you want to be on. I'll bring you on the show. You'll be able to be a guest on the show. And this show is all about beer and people. And, well, I love both of them. So I'd love to have you here. Continuing on, let's go to the show and tell aspect of this part of the program. So each and every week we do a show and tell aspect. Usually it's with a guest, but I want to go ahead, since we don't have a guest, is bring back the original show and tell when I was doing it, when I was showing you stuff. And I got this for my birthday. Check this out. This was a birthday gift from my buddy Nate right over there. This thing right here is going to be awesome. All right, check this thing out. Like, what is it, right? Looks like just a duffel bag. Whip-de-doo. Oh, that's awesome. Wow, not really big and not really impressive, but not just a duffel bag, okay? And if you will, I'm going to go ahead and... This just isn't your ordinary duffel bag. What's inside this thing? For what I do, for what I creatively like to do, go out and make videos, camping, be away, and really kind of show some cool things. This thing was an absolute gem, okay? I drive a truck, and I drive a pickup truck, so you can go ahead and check this out. This is what it looks like. It's a little tent on the back of a truck. So I could pull up to all kinds of outdoor camping spots. I could pop up my tent right there, and I can go ahead and sleep for the night. And what's really cool about this show and tell thing is you're going to be able to see a video. I'm going to go to a place in 2 to 3 weeks, and I'm going to go ahead and use this. I'm going to the very first African-American town here in the United States. And I'm going to go ahead and make a video where I camp there. But before I go and do the video of camping, I'm going to also make a video of this tent. So if you have a pickup truck or you're interested in doing some camping and making it easy, that you might be inspired to go and get one of these yourself. Joy Tunes. Yeah, this thing's awesome. I haven't set it up yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. That is today's show and tell. Now I want to go on to this one still is one of my favorite ones. JC, if you're still there, you may have played this game with me at the observatory, but I absolutely love this. I love to hear people's responses. Excellent gift is right, Frank. Thank you. It's time for What Would You Rather? So this is no right or wrong answer. I'm just going to ask you some questions. Which would you rather? Let me know on the spot. You don't have to think about it. You can put it in the comments. You can answer back after the show. Just let me know. Hey, which would you rather? So we're going to go with today. What would you rather? Would you rather, okay? Would you rather go to, ready for this? Would you rather go to Buffalo, New York? Okay? My hometown. Hey, okay? The hometown of Travel Man Dan. Would you rather go to Buffalo, New York? One of the coolest places in the world. One of the places that's now getting a little more hype because, well, it's it's cheaper. Although it is cold, it's cheaper. But people find the people are very friendly there, very down to earth, very blue collar. And it's my home. It's where my family is. I'll absolutely go back one day. But that's the first one. Would you rather go to Buffalo, New York? The second one is, would you rather, okay, would you rather go to another cold city, another place that is, well, I don't want to say gray and desolate, but, well, it's considered part of the Rust Belt, okay? And, yeah, so very, very similar to Buffalo, but it is Detroit, okay?
I thought you were going to say Pittsburgh.
How do you like that? I thought it would be fun to bring up two really cool American cities, North American, okay, in the top of the north, around the lakes. Would you rather go to Buffalo or Detroit? Very similar in terms of, well, about 20 years ago, everyone left. Now, everyone's trying to come back. Very interesting, rich in culture, rich in blue-collar people. One is bigger than the other, being Detroit, but I wanted to get your perspective. Hey, Buffalo, nice, Brendan. Okay, Buffalo, New York. Frank says about Philly. What? Philly's not part of it. There's always that one person, Marie, who knows the answers to what would you rather with a whole new answer. We didn't say Buffalo, Detroit, and Philly. It's either Buffalo or Detroit. No, I'm just kidding. No, not Philly. By the way, Marie, thank you so much. The banana bread pudding was awesome. Or the banana bread. Thank you. That was delicious. For me, it's always going to be Buffalo. It's my favorite place. I've been away for a while. Detroit. Buffalo for Frank, yes. Nate, which would you rather?
Dude, this is a no-brainer. First of all, you're from Buffalo. I've been there to pick you up. Remember? We went to Kutztown 20 years ago, 25 years ago. In the driving snow. I remember driving to Buffalo in like December or January to pick him up and take him to Kutztown. First time we ever had Blue Moon. But, dude, nobody wants to go to Detroit. It's Buffalo all the way.
Ah, nice. All right. Hey. And, hey, that's where the Bills and Sabres are. All right, going on with question number 2. Question number 2 is another food question. And sticking with the Mexican theme, we're going to go with Mexican food. All right, which would you rather? I leaked it a little bit earlier, but I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to show you a picture. And when I look at this, I almost think about this beer that I'm drinking. But, guys, the first is, which would you rather? Would you rather have this little sucker right here? Look at that gem. Look at that sucker. Ooh, cocktail. Wait, cocktail de Camarones. Look at that. Juicy. Okay, inside there is the soup. There's chamoy. You got your avocados. You got these 2 giant shrimps, lime. Okay, put that on a cracker, dude. All right, you can put it on a cracker. It's really good. That one is delicious. Okay, then number 2, the other choice you have, Menudo. Okay, look at this. Yes, look at this. Now, I've only eaten Menudo a few times, and both times I've had it was delicious, but it looks very similar, okay? But what it is it's tripe Okay, and if you don't know what that is, it's lining of intestines. A lot of cultures eat it. They just call it something different, or they put their sauce on it. You have in there pieces of beef. You have in there beans. You have the soup itself. Apparently, it's really good after you're hungover. It just, thank you, Marie. It just is a really good, no, not ceviche, menudo or Marie, or like cocktail de camarón. Now, this one's tough for me because they're both delicious. And this is what I was talking about. A lot of people would not associate this with Mexican food. They probably would be like, they don't know what the hell it is. But both are delicious. One is warm, one is cold. So that could change up a lot of ways how you think about it. For me, I absolutely like them both, but I'm going to go with this one. It's one of my favorite foods. It's hard to find. Up until recently, I didn't even know what it was until a friend of mine brought it to my attention and showed me what it actually was. But it is phenomenal, especially on a hot day here in California. Nate, which do you prefer? Which would you rather?
Well, first of all, since you called the Camarones soup, yeah, I got to go with the Menudo. And to pay respect to the popular boy band.
Oh, my gosh. Menudo. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Menudo all day. Menudo is phenomenal. It gets overlooked because it's got tripe, it's got stomach in there, it's got, some cheek, cabeza, whatever. Menudo's awesome. It's spicy, it's salty, it's earthy. It's perfect for a hangover, which I'm going to need tomorrow. The other one, man, screw that. Give me the Menudo.
Okay, not bad. Got to respect your what would you rather. Number 3. Going on with number 3. Okay, this famous actor is one of my favorites. To be honest with you, a lot of people say you look like him. You look like this actor, except for this actor that lifts weights.
Steve Buscemi?
No. But I'm talking about Harrison Ford. So, which I'm telling you, I look like a young Harrison Ford, just a little stronger. Right?
Dude, that's fucking good. Who told you that? Who told you that? Do they need glasses?
I've heard it a lot, dude. I
honestly, you definitely look like Harrison.
In my opinion, if I was to say I look like anybody, it would be a very young Richard Gere. It would be a very old Robert De Niro before he got politically crazy, and then probably the closest I've actually doubled for him is the guy from Mad Men, John Hamm.
Do you know what? Now that one I see.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford I don't see, but John Hamm, it's pretty close. It's almost your doppelganger.
Yeah, I played him in Top Gun 2. I stood in for him for a scene. But anyway, what I was telling you guys is, if you have Harrison Ford, which would you rather? The Indiana Jones trilogy or Star Wars, the original Star Wars? Which one do you prefer? Which one would you rather? That one's tough because I absolutely love Harrison Ford as an actor. I think his movies are great. Like, I even like Patriot Games. And Jeremy Renner, yes. Oh, Jeremy Renner is the best. Don't crash your brain, yes. But at the end of the day, if you know me, like if you really know me as a person, I'm a Star Wars geek. I have all the toys. I have all the movies. I absolutely love Harrison Ford. It's kind of what secretly inspired me to be and get into acting. So for me, it's Harrison Ford. Nate, which one would you rather?
I love Harrison Ford. You got to
Star
go.
Wars. Oh, so you're going with Star Wars?
Sorry, Star Wars. Yes, for sure. 100%.
JC says Star Wars 3 times, JC. I love it. Indiana Jones for Brendan. Okay, he's not into the sci-fi. He probably doesn't like R2-D2. Indiana Jones, Maria. Yes, agreed on Renner. Nate looks exactly like Jeremy Renner. He is awesome as Indy. He is awesome as Indy. Okay, so going on, question number 4. Which would you rather? Would you rather? We're talking about drinks, okay? And we're talking about morning drinks. Fun little funsers, okay? Do you prefer the mimosa, a little champagne, and OJ, okay? A little orange juice, a little champagne. You wake up, you have a little mimosa. Maybe it's Easter. Maybe you're going to crack a couple this Mother's Day. Who knows? But the mimosa, I don't know, it gives that kind of citric flavor. If you drink it too fast, you might get heartburn. Or do you prefer the Bloody Mary? Okay, kind of like the Chelada Clamato. Do you prefer the Bloody Mary, folks? I don't know about that one. Sometimes I've had some crazy Bloody Marys with bacon, olives, celery, anything that you can think of put into this thing. Like you literally go to drink it, and it's like all these pieces of food are just poking you in the face because they're like go to drink it and they're like poking you. You're like, I think a piece of bacon just hit me in the face. I don't know what you like, but for me, I don't really care for the mimosa. I think they're occasionally not bad, but I got to go with the Bloody Mary, which I don't like a lot either. Nate, what do you got? And I think I already know this one.
What do you think it is?
Come on, bro. Bloody Mary.
The Bloody Mary, dude. And the best Bloody Mary I've ever had in my life was at the Parker House in Manasquan, New Jersey, back in when I lived in New York City. It came in these little plastic cups, tons of horseradish, really thick. When they poured it, you can almost see it kind of glop in. The Parker House Bloody Mary is the best of all time.
Okay. Is that what's in it? Horseradish sometimes?
Part of it, you can put olive juice in there. There's a ton of different stuff. Worcestershire sauce, jalapeno sauce. Yeah, there's all different variations, iterations.
Cool. Bubba, welcome to the show, Bubba. Thanks for coming on. Yes, we have one of our OGs in the house, OG 25s. If you don't know, when you hear me throwing it around there, OG 25 was the very first 25 people that started watching me each and every week. Unfortunately, we've lost a lot of them because of the time change, but Bubba is one of them. Good to see you here, Bubba. We're going on with question number 5. We're not going to do anything gross. We're not talking about blood. We're not talking about pus. We're not talking about other weird things. We're talking about disgusting, though. Okay? Which would you rather, if you were like me and you were brought up in the 80s, you probably have a mouthful of cavities. Okay? So, would you rather take a ball of tinfoil and eat a ball of tinfoil? So every time it hits your cavity, you're like pew pew pew. It like shoots through you. You know what I'm talking about. If you've ever bitten into any bit of tinfoil, whether it be on a juicy fruit wrapper or whatever. Waldorf Astoria, I've eaten there, and I definitely think that one place is good. But would you rather chew on a ball of tinfoil, or you go down into everybody on your street's house, and you go down in the basement where they're washing clothes, and you take the change that's on their dryer, and you slide it in your hand. Sometimes it's brown. Sometimes it's fresh change. Sometimes that change has been there so old, it's like green change, right? Quarters, nickels, dimes, and you got a handful of change. And you put it in your mouth, and then you got to suck on that change. Okay? You got to keep those quarters, those nickels, those dimes, those pennies, okay, the copper, the silver, in your mouth for 5 minutes. Swish it around just like we did the Little Nitro. Which would you rather? Good to see you, Bubba. Thank you as always. Which would you rather? That one is really tough. As you know, it's such a terrible feeling. I hate getting pinged, but I also hate the smell of coins. Almost to the point where I pretty much banned coins from my repertoire. I just don't like the smell of it. And this one's tough, but I don't like to get shocked. And I have a lot of cavities on my upper mouth. So if I had to chew this, you're chewing on a ball of tinfoil for 5 minutes. So bing, 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 bing. You're getting it all the time. I don't know, man. It's really hard. I'm going with the pennies, quarters, and dimes. I'm sucking on the change. Chewing tinfoil. It was like electric shock. Yeah, exactly. I'd suck the change, says Frank. Hey, what are you doing? You sucking the change or what? So gross.
Me?
What? Nate, what are you doing?
Oh, sorry. There was a bit of delay there. Dude, I'm definitely sucking the change. There's no doubt about it. So it's funny because when you were here, and do you remember the little sandwiches that we got last week that were $68? What did we get?
Oh, the arepas.
The arepa. And when I brought it home, there was one left over. And I took a bite of it, and there was tinfoil paper in there. And I have a fake tooth from when I got my tooth knocked out when I was a senior in high school in the basketball game. And it shot through me. It was awful.
Really?
It was brutal. And Brendan, he's saying such a terrible feeling. Thanks, Nate. That's because I'm pretty sure I told him to chew on tinfoil like 35 years ago. And so he's very aware of that feeling. It's awful. You can't get past the first taste. It's so jarring that it has to be changed. If you say otherwise, you're lying.
Yeah. it's a painful. It's painful, right? I think that's an adequate statement. All right, so don't chew tinfoil. I think pretty much everybody in the room is going with sucking on change.
Coins.
Suck it up. Guys, this is what we're drinking. Bud Light, Chelada, Clamato. I'm swigging it down. All the tahine is done, but we're going to go ahead. I love that it's got a little bit of look to it. You can see it kind of looks bloody red. We're going to go ahead and swig this down. I'll go ahead and give it a score, and we'll move on to the second beer.
Boom. There he goes. Look at that, guys. He finished it. He's a champion.
It wasn't that good, but I got to be honest with you. It wasn't that good. Let's go ahead and bring out the scorecard. Hey, guys, by the way, I forgot to tell everyone, pretty soon you're going to be able to join me and Nate each and every week by keeping score yourself with your own scorecard. All you're going to have to do is sign up on my email list, and then you'll be able to log in on the beginning of the week, and you'll get a professional card that you'll be able to submit. Go ahead and put it up on social media. If you want to do Beer Advocate, however you want, whatever you want to do with it, you'll be able to say, you know what, I scored along with Travel Man Dan and the Test Bunny. Yeah, it is an interesting can, but yeah, looking forward to it. Now let's go ahead and score this sucker out. So, like I said, I'm not a big fan of these. I think they're kind of gross, to be honest with you. I was actually worried about drinking this one. The taste to me today wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I got a little help from the tahine, this little coater right here that puts the hot sauce on it. Made it a little bit better. You taste a little bit of the lager or the Bud Light. You taste a little bit of what Nate was saying was the clam juice. I'm assuming that was something that I can't pinpoint. But what I taste more than anything, and I don't think it's even proper to say on a beer show, but I taste vegetables. Okay, I just taste like I'm drinking vegetables, and I'm not a big fan of V8. I'm not a fan of vegetables. I do feel because I drink. We're definitely going to keep score, Frank. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to set the email list up within the next 2 weeks, so you can go to my website and then you can go ahead and give it a score. Let's give it a 0. No, I'm not going to give it that low, but would I drink it again off of taste? It wasn't a heinous crime, but I'm not going to say I'd go looking for it. I'm going to go ahead and give it one of the lowest scores I've ever given on the show, and that is a 1.0 for taste. Nate, what do you got?
Dude, you're nuts, man. This stuff, it tastes like the beach to me. I don't know why, but it does. It has a sandy, weird, I don't know if it's chlorine or salt water, but there's some kind of flavor in there I can't identify. I love it. I give it a 4.0. I'll drink this whenever it's available.
Wow, 4.0? Are you kidding me? Okay.
4.0.
All right. There's a little discrepancy in the way that he enjoys his beer taste than I do. Going on with the next one, the cost. Okay, this is where it might get its highest score. Okay, the cost for this 24-ounce can, I believe it is. Okay, not bad. $3.50, $3.48. So round up, $3.50. Wasn't bad. I got it at Bevmo. It does give you basically two drinks, 2 bottles of beer. So for that price, $3.50, not bad. The thing is, the taste. You're not gonna really get overwhelmed from the strength of this thing. I do feel a little buzz coming on, but like I said, I'm burping up vegetables and celery, so you're gonna have to deal with that. But based on price alone, not bad. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. Go ahead, Bergs. What do you got?
4.5. Because it's a specialty beer.
Whoa, you're going right in.
Specialty beer. You got 2 in 1 can. It gives you something special, something different, something unique that you can bring to a party, be the life of the party. 4.5 for me. It's worth every penny.
Okay, all right, okay, 4.5. See, now this is why I'm going to go with JC, is because when I go to a Mexican restaurant, right, and I'm drinking, I feel like I'm drinking more of a real michelada as opposed to, now this thing is freaking great. I've said it a few times, but coming out of the can, not impressed. Well, let's go to the design. Now, the design of this thing, I think Frank or Bubba alluded to it earlier. It isn't that bad, okay? It's kind of cool. I like the font. It's kind of neat. I like the colors, okay? The Blue Chelada. Chelada. Okay, something about saying that word is fun. Something about saying Chelada Clamato is even funner. Okay. It's an LA original. I like that it says that down there. Okay, check that out. I live in LA. Okay, I don't know what that means. The design, okay, it's also in Spanish. Would you like me to read this in Spanish, Nate? Cerveza light premium con sabores, naturals y jugo de vegetal para dar cooler.
Can you do that
I
again?
like that. Yeah, thanks. Okay, the design is really not that impressive, but it has got cool fonts. I'm gonna go ahead and give it an even 2.5. Nate, what do you got?
I'm going to do a 2.0. I also think it's a little bit underwhelming. But you know what? Bud Light overall with their design is underwhelming. I wish that there was more of a pronounced Anheuser-Busch logo, but it's kind of faded in here. 2.0.
That's a good point. Okay, I like that. All right, now, accessibility. This sucker you can get anywhere in any grocery store, any specialty beer store, anywhere in pretty much the United States of America, excluding maybe Alaska, but maybe it's up there. I don't know. You can pretty much find this anywhere. I bet you can find it in Florida. You can definitely find it in the East Coast. No, you can find it. These things are popular. You might not be able to find the Estrella Jalisco and maybe the Sol one, but the Bud Light one you'll be able to find. So I think that's good. Outside of North America, I don't know how much you're going to be able to find this. Maybe down in Latin America, but as JC talked about, and as I agree with them, it's not an authentic one. You can get authenticity if you go to Latin America. So I'm not sure if they have these Bud Lights, but being it's a Bud Light, it might be there. Anyway, overall, I'm going to give it a right down the even line because it's suspect. I can't imagine this being in Africa, a lot of places, but I'm going to give it a 2.5 for accessibility. Nate, what do you got?
I'm giving it a 2.0. I disagree. I don't think it's that readily available outside of the West Coast and Southwest. They might have it in certain places in the Northeast, but you can go to any grocery store, any bar in Las Vegas and find this. So outside of this region, I don't think it's that popular. In the Northeast, maybe you find a couple of spots. So 2.0.
2.0, okay. Did you say you could find it anywhere in any bar in Las Vegas?
I mean, not any bar.
Not the Bud Light. You can find it any. Okay.
Right.
All right.
Not any bar. Not any bar. But you can find it.
The guys from Pennsylvania, when you have to buy your beer, you got to go to the bar and buy 6-packs.
Yep.
So I can understand the confusion there. All right, moving on to the last one. Mike Capella, welcome. All right, Mike, good to see you here. Mike is a longtime friend of mine, growing up in Kenmore, now I believe in Tonawanda. And Mike actually was inspired a long time ago to go and try out the cock-a-doodle-doo at Sonic. So, Mike, good to have you here. Hope you and the family are well. Please say hi to your wife. And we're moving on to the TMD X Factor. Now, this TMD X Factor, 1917. Okay, that's a good one, huh? Is that what you're drinking? This one, like I said before, I'm not a big fan of. Okay, it's got a nice flavor. It's not awful, but it doesn't really bring me to the table. I'm not really excited about drinking it again. I don't get up for this one. But on the other side it wasn't as bad as I expected. I'm actually enjoyed it a little bit with the tahini. But overall, the TMD factor, there's nothing really to get excited about. I'm going to go ahead and give it a low score of a 2.0. Nate, what are you going to give it?
Yeah, for the eat and not factor, I'm on
Love
the other
too,
side.
bro. Mike,
I'm at a 4.5, mostly because Travel Man Dan doesn't like it. I got to be honest, and the fact he doesn't like it is perplexing to me. But the fact it's an American beer that kind of has taken on a Mexican style, I think they did a really good job. If you do try the Estrella Jalisco, which is a Golden Road brewery, if you try that, it's not that dissimilar to this. It's pretty close. Now, if you go for a Michelada in a Michelada bar, it's going to be different because they're going to give you more of a Bloody Mary type of a taste. But this, for Bud Light, for the price, for everything, 4.5.
What? Dude.
For sure.
Yeah, this is rigged, man. Are you getting paid by Bud Light?
This is good stuff, dude. I'm sorry. It's good.
That's a
It's
preposterous statement, young man.
Michelada. It's a quality Michelada.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and add it up. Here we go. 1, okay, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. My total for the Bud Light Michelada Clamato is not very high. It's the lowest score I've ever had on this show.
Shocker.
Not the old ones. The oldest one I've ever had, I think, was 26C. Awful beer. But ladies and gentlemen, people around the world, the Bud Light Chelada Clamato scored an 11.5.
Dude, come on.
Ooh.
Dude, yeah.
Okay.
Burger
All right.
boy. Burger
All right, Nate, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm at 17. I don't know where that ranks in what I've done in the past.
17?
17.
Oh, man. Okay, well, that's pretty good. It's above the standard here on the show. And remember, you're going to be able to sign up to my email list where you're going to get a scorecard for you want each and every week where you can follow along, drink the beers that we drink. And I just want to welcome Lala to the show. Lala. Lala just watched the Little Nitro video of last week. And wow, Lala, that was the hottest friggin' thing I've ever eaten.
What's up with that beer, Dan?
What's that?
How's that beer, Dan?
Good. Try Breaker cocktail. I find SOL better. Yes. Yeah, I like Soul Mike. I like it too. Definitely better than Corona. Treehouse Brewery for life. Ah, damn you, Rick. That's the place I want to sell. Treehouse, the #1 like brewery in the world. I really want to check it out. Whoa. Yeah, it's this crazy place. But anyway, guys, let's get into the show. Let's keep things rolling. Good to see some new people here. Like I said, the time change has altered a little bit of the audience. We're not getting such a strong crowd from Europe, but I got a lot of my good friends here. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be moving on, sticking with the Cinco de Mayo theme. We're going to be pulling out this second beer. I'm shutting that guy down for just a second. We'll bring him back. Ladies and gentlemen, people around the world, we are going to be drinking the Pacifico Clara. Okay, check this out. This delicious La Cerveza de Pacifico, okay, is 24 fluid ounces. It is I can't read the lights, okay. It is 4.4% alcohol, so not a very strong beer, but that's okay. Now, let's go ahead and crack it. I'll take a whiff, I'll tell you what it smells like on the initial smell, and then we'll break it into a cup and take a sip. So right away, it's going to be of a lighter brew. As I first take my first whiff and inhale of it, okay, it's got a bit of a cereal, a grassy flavor, an aroma that I'm most familiar with, well, of the common beers. So let's go ahead and pour this out into the glass, and I'll show you what it's going to look like. Okay, yes, it is very light, very different than the last beer that we had. As you can see, I'll pull my little fingers back here. This looks like a beer that you drink at a ball game. Maybe you're, going to be going out and watching the Yankees. Take a look at that. Okay, light as ever. You can see through it. I can still see you guys. It's got moderate carbonation, low head, very grainy smell. Let me go ahead and take my first sip and tell you what it tastes like. Okay, first impression, not bad. You know what you're going to get. It's got a cereal grain taste to it, sweet malty flavor, nothing too impressive. Nate, let's go to see what you're drinking. Are you drinking it? JC says, oh, snap. Thank you, Pacifico. Uh-oh, we got Cordova in the house. Rocco, what's up, man? Okay, so excited when Rocco is here, you guys. All right, Pacifico. Nate, what is your first impression of that beer? The can looks refreshing. I agree.
I put a lime in this because that's, I think, what you're supposed to do. That's what I've always been told. So I'm going to give this a quick swig here. Smells good. Smells like a lager.
Rocco is here. Thank you, Rick.
That's a good beer, man. You know what it is? It has kind of an ocean type of flavor to it. I understand what you're saying with the grassy notes. It's almost like a corn type of beer, very light, but also a touch stronger than a Corona or a Sol or a Tecate.
Okay. Now, I want to go back to what you were saying before with the lime. And the lime is one of those weird, I understand they're dropping a lime in there. They think, oh, that's what Mexico does. And yeah, pretty much Latin America, and they drop lime and lemons into the beer. Now, see, JC, who is Mexican, says Nate did the right thing with the lime. But the origins of it are often kind of convoluted. And the reason that they dropped the lime in there goes back to about 400 or 500 years ago. I don't know. Maybe one day it'll pop up on this day in history. But what it was when settlers, when Spanish conquistadors and people that were on boats were traveling throughout the sea, they had iron caps on top of the bottle, right? But being that they're out at sea for a long time, and the salt water splashing on these things would sometimes interact with the rust, the iron cap, and they would create like a rust lining on the beer bottle. So what they would do is once they uncorked it or uncapped it, however it was plugged, they would have like a ring rust around the top of the bottle. So boats were prevalent to have barrels full of lime and lemons on them to prevent sailors from getting scurvy, okay, which was a deficiency of vitamin C. So what would happen is it is also an alkalizing agent where you go ahead and you can take the lime or the lemon and rub it against those brittle rust particles, and it would fall off. And somewhere along the line, somebody probably dropped it into the bottle. That's your little bit of history with that. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you found some value in that. Okay. So there it is. I thought I would spit that out of you. But yeah, not a bad beer. I'm going to go back to what Frank was saying. I really like this can. I don't know what it is. It's different. It's bright yellow. It's got some cool sailor stuff on it. And it's got my favorite cryptocurrency, Anchor. Okay. That's
Anchor.
Anchor, ANKR, trading under ANKR at 16 cents.
Doggy.
All right. Well, moving on, we're going to talk about next week's video. Next week's video is going to be a fun little video. We are going to be doing a video of a really badass bitchin' place that I checked out when I was in Vegas, and it is Tom Devlin's Monster Museums. Yeah. Okay. If you don't know me, you maybe do know me. One thing that I love, that I absolutely love, is acting in movies and acting in monster movies. It's definitely one of my favorite, if not my favorite genres, is monster. So I was able to go and find this cool place that Nate found in Boulder City, Nevada, which is called Tom Devlin's, who is a special. He's got the Boulder City, Colorado. But this video is great because it's got just a small little museum, kind of got all the cool history of the old ancient movies from Bela Lugosi to Lon Chaney Jr. to then it goes into the slasher films, the weird and unusual, and there's all kinds of busts, things that Tom Devlin actually worked on because he's an actual cinematographer. He is actual a special effects person, a makeup artist, somebody who creates monsters for real movies, which is really cool. And he's got a school. So I'm going to take you inside Tom Devlin's Monster Museum. Look forward to showing you guys that video. Thanks again, Nate, for mentioning to you. And
man, you did an awesome job.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. It really felt good to get back out there and travel a little bit more. Now, I'm not doing the extensive traveling that I did my first year of the channel. When I was looking back at the channel, I'm like, geez, man, my first year, I went to 7 different countries, and I pumped out videos. Now, due to the pandemic, I'm not able to do that, so I've taken a Huell Hauser approach to just working on California, but even that got shrunk down. As continuing going on, things are going to open up. I'm going to go back out there and travel and show you the world, so look forward to that stuff. A bit of other maritime history, yes. All right, read that out loud, Nate, will you?
A bit of other maritime history. When you hear the phrase cold enough to freeze the balls off a brass monkey, goes back to British naval ships used a brass square that held cannonballs when it was cold at sea. The brass would contract and the cannonballs would roll off the brass monkey, thus cold enough to freeze the balls off a brass monkey. Awesome, Mike. That's
oh man, that is awesome, Mike. What the hell? That is great, and thank you for sharing that with us, Mike. We should put you on the show as the this
Hell
day in
yeah.
history teacher. Mike's great. I got to tell you, Mike is I've known Mike probably since maybe 12 years old, and we went to middle school. He mostly hung out with my brother, and then we always stayed friends. And yeah, it's so good to see you out here, and just thank you for supporting my channel. And those of you that are watching, this is what we're drinking. Really appreciate you hopping on this new time zone. We're drinking the Pacifico. We're having a good time. We got Nate here. We got many other people joining in, popping in to say hello. So cheers to you guys. If you've ever watched one of my videos, comment it. Go onto YouTube and comment it, because that's where the money is. If you've ever shared my video, that is the most important thing, is sharing. I want to say thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Really, I can't say thank you enough. If I ever get a chance to, I'll buy you a beer. But here we go. Thanks for that. Oh, Mike says he would love it. Look at this. Mike, I think we're going to bring you on as the history teacher. If you can do, at least 2 weeks, I'll prep you. I'll walk you through it. All you got to do. And, Mike is a 22 or 20, maybe he's over a 20-year veteran of the U.S. Army. So, awesome. So I'd love to have you on there. And, good friend of mine. We'll get into that a little bit later. But now it's time for me to do this day in history. So Barrow's not here, but we're going to continue on. It's still one of my favorite segments to do. I do this day in history because I just like doing history. I'm not a history teacher. I'm a history buff. I'm not a history professional. I go ahead, I do some research. I think it would be a fun segment to talk about why we drink beer. So here we go. On this day in history, on May 7th, 1429, the English siege of Orleans, broken by Joan of Arc and the French army. So what you had was the English. Let me restate that, because I am starting to feel buzzed and I completely botched that up, and that's why I want to bring a history teacher. But on this day in history, May 7th, 1429, okay, it was known as the English siege of Orleans, where it was broken by Joan of Arc. You all know who Joan of Arc was. If you don't know, research her. She came in and she led the French army, and she broke up this huge English siege, and therefore they took over. The French took back the city of Orleans. In 1920, it's worth noting that she was recognized as a Christian saint by the Roman Catholic Church. So I thought I would throw that out there. All right, Mike. Awesome. I'm going to be calling you this day in history. Very cool. Love to have Mike on the show. I think it would bring some value. I think it would be fun to have him on there. And, I'm always looking for hometown people to boost up. So, I'll be giving you a call this week for sure. All right, moving on this day in history, May 7th. Okay, May 7th, 1867, Swedish chemist Alfred Nobel patents dynamite. Okay, dynamite in England. It was the first of 3 patents he would receive for this explosive material. And yes, that is who the Nobel Peace Prize is named after, is Alfred Nobel. But this is on this day in history in 1867, he patented dynamite. And you think dynamite like cartoons, explosives, danger, whatever. But if you work in construction, especially heavy construction, dynamite has really been instrumental in going ahead and shaping a lot of the things that we take for granted. Okay, I know Nate is well versed. Let's go pop it on Nate. He is well versed in quarries where dynamite is used all the time. And if it wasn't for dynamite, I don't know if we'd have the material that we have in construction. Ain't that right, buddy?
That's right. I remember where I grew up is a town called Slatington. Why were we called Slatington? Because there was slate quarries everywhere. And that was one of the things we would do in the summers. We would go to these quarries, and they were huge pits, and there would be walls up to 65, 70 feet. And we would just jump off those things. Yeah, it's a blast from the past. Thank you for reminding me about that, Travel Man Dan. It's been a while.
Okay. I got to say, I'm very excited because organically, we now have a history teacher that is going to come on and do this day in history. And
Huge,
this
man.
not to me. It's all I always feel a sense of pride, and I feel prouder when it's somebody from my hometown. So this is exciting. Okay, but until then, I'm gonna keep drinking, and I'm gonna do it on this day in history on May 7th, 1914. The U.S. Congress establishes Mother's Day. How about that, right? Okay, so on this day in history in 1914, the U.S. Congress established Mother's Day. Mother's Day we're all very familiar with. Okay, it is this Sunday, so be sure to go ahead and get your mom flowers, chocolate, or something that she loves. At least give her a phone call, give her a hug, a kiss if you can. I miss you dearly, Mom. I love you. And, well, it's always one of the hardest days for me, being the travel man Dan that I am. I don't have a family here. I got really good friends, but unfortunately, I'm not married and I don't have any kids, so I'm doing it solo. So when holidays come up, especially like Mother's Day or birthdays of my family, I'm going to miss it. But on this day in history, 1914, Mother's Day was created. So awesome. And tell Nance I said hi too, Nate.
Hey, every day should be Mother's Day.
Yeah, that's right. All right, on this day in history, on May 7th, 1953, a record 537 kilogram swordfish is caught by L.E. Marin in Chile. You weren't expecting that word.
No, what was the name again? L.E. what?
L.E. Marin. He was caught in Chile.
One hell of a
Okay.
catch.
Your face when I said swordfish, you had no idea what was coming. Okay. I thought I would tie it in there with Mexico and sword fishing. I've been missing fishing. I was talking to Rocco about fishing a few days ago. So I thought I would throw that one on. But
What's
on this
the biggest
day,
fish you ever caught, Danny?
it's tough to say, man. I used to go fish with my buddy Mate like all the time for like largemouth. And, growing up in Buffalo, it's one of the places that like a lot of people, if you're from Buffalo, you don't really like, you take this for granted, and people, if you're into this, you absolutely love it. And Buffalo is one of the meccas because you're positioned between two Great Lakes. You have an awesome river, the Niagara River. You have Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, which have walleye, which are enormous fish. You have northern pike. You have a smallmouth bass, and then all going into those lakes all throughout what we consider the southern tier, and then what's considered I guess it will be like Lockport, Niagara County. You have all kinds of streams and stuff like that. So the trout fishing is exceptional. Wow. And you have one of the biggest runs in Chinook salmon. Gosh, probably the biggest fish I ever caught was some sort of walleye. They're big, man.
I was going to say, walleye's big up there, especially when you get up into Canada, right?
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people say don't eat them because, fishing near the lakes, there's a lot of pollution, but whatever. We still ate them. You just don't want to eat the sheephead. All right, going on with the next one. On May 7th in 2015, underwater explorers discover a silver ingot of Captain William Kidd's treasure near Madagascar. And take a look, guys. If you don't know Captain Kidd, he was a Scottish pirate. And they found this giant inglet. Okay, check them out. That thing is silver, solid silver. There's Captain Kidd, okay, looking all piratey and everything. Whoop,
Kitty.
Get that. Okay, and there is that inglet underwater, and there it is right there. It's got some inscriptions going on. Pretty cool. That's what happened on this day in history. On this day in history, exactly right here at this moment, we are drinking Pacifico, okay? Copper beer, very easy, smooth drink.
Light.
All right. What's it? Light.
Very light. Very light. It's kind of like a cross between a lager and a pilsner, but heavier on the lager side.
Yeah, it's the type of beer that you want to bring to a volleyball game because, well, you're having fun. You're probably going to play about 3 or 4 sets, and you probably can drink of these 24-ounce cans. I don't know, me personally. How many can you drink, Nate?
24 of them.
24. No, you'd be done. There's no way you could drink 48 beers.
There's a challenge right there for the weekly beer review show. I can drink 24 Pacificos. Just give me 2 days.
Look at this, Mike Capella already chiming in. May 7th, 1945, Germany signs unconditional
surrender. That's right.
That's a huge day. That's a massive day. All right. Good fighting fish, but blah, bad. Bubba, you're not supposed to eat the sheep head. That's awesome. I don't know, but one thing that I've always wanted, but I've never had, is that hard hat with the 2 beers. I feel like this is a good beer for that, right? I feel like Pacifico is a good beer for that. All right, moving on. What are you reading? What are you watching? Guys, it's really simple. I'm continuing to read this book. It's one of my favorite books, which is also a podcast. It is called Atlas Obscura. If you don't know it, check it out. If you have a simple brain, you don't like to read, it's good because they're short little segments. And if you want to check out their podcast, you can check it out. It's by this guy, Dylan Thuris. Okay, really cool, fun stuff in here. Talks about the weird and obscure thing. And as an actor, for me, I'm hoping that I get a chance. I will get another shot at bigger movies and television shows and things like that. But I started YouTube because I like the obscure world. I like the things that, people don't know about. And, everyone rushes to these, great grand things like the Niagara Falls and the Paris Eiffel Tower. But for me, it's about all these cool little things like the Cactus Dome, okay? And all these just weird and unusual things. And that's what this book is. I suggest if you get a chance to read this. Nate, what about you? What are you reading, bud?
Nothing. All right, but I have been reading about the draft.
Okay. What are you reading?
2021 draft, and the Eagles taking Devontae Smith. Pretty excited about that. That's what I'm reading.
Okay. Dude, I love the enthusiasm. Mike is awesome right away. Okay. Whoa. Hold everything.
Freak.
We have Tenacious Freak from Denmark. Welcome. Good morning. Thank you for popping on. I got to say, I miss the love and support from Denmark. I'm used to having about 15 of you Danes on here. But we'll see what happens in the future. But good to have you here. We're already at the segment called What Are You Reading? What Are You Watching? Okay, go Dolphins. No, JC, that is terrible talk. Dolphins stink. Okay, they think by loading up on all these draft picks, nobody's going to beat the Buffalo Bills, baby. All right, moving on.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Moving on to what are you watching? And guys, I got to be honest with you. I got to switch it up from time to time. And this is what I'm watching. I don't know if you guys have seen this. If you're probably a fan from some point in time, you've probably watched it. But I'm watching on Netflix right now. It's not that. Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. It's full cartoons. It's episodes on that. I'm having a hard time getting Nate back. There you are, Nate. Sometimes when I watch movies or I watch a lot of crime, watch a lot of those cop porn things. It's hard to get to sleep. I wake up in the middle of the night in a frantic, is somebody coming to get me? So it's been a nice little. It's been a nice, like FBI files and forensic files. So it's been really nice having Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. It's an up-to-date rendition. The drawings are great. The voiceovers are great. I suggest you watch it. Nate, what are you watching?
BoJack Horseman.
Oh, jeez. That show is good.
It is good. You know what I liked? The other day there was a caterpillar randomly in an audience or something. I just like the animals that are in it. But BoJack Horseman is good. Everybody's seen it. I never saw it before a month ago. Sorry. I'm not that involved. I love it.
I just saw it a few days ago at your house. Very interesting.
It's good. I like the intro music. I don't know why, but I do.
I like this beer because it's clean on the carbonation. Okay, good morning, Aquanuts. Oh, what I would love to do right now to be in Copenhagen and be able to go out with you, Wonder Strudel, and
Drunatic.
Yeah, Drunatic. Sorry, I'm looking at the beer. I would love to go out to everyone go to breakfast. Maybe we'll eat a couple of Danishes. But this is what we're drinking. It is a fun beer. We were drinking Pacifico in memory. I guess it's not memory, but in commemoration of Cinco de Mayo that just happened. Bubba, I'm 100% down with squishing the fish. Go Buffalo. Okay, we got Bubba in the house. We got Nate is saying hi to Aquanuts. I'm just whipping through Bojack Horseman. Watch out. It's good stuff. Guys, we're going to go ahead and slam this one. We're going to go ahead and score it. And then I'm going to run you through the quote of the week. So here we go. Whack it down.
I already whacked it down, bro.
It's almost so clean.
It's an awesome beer, dude.
It's got a soapy taste to it.
Me and my boy Tim Wright used to drink this back in New York City. We went to this one bar on the Upper East Side. I think it was like 83rd and First or something like that. And they had these things in the ice cooler. They were frozen. They were so good. I'll always remember that. Turtle, I don't know where you are. Love you, mister.
Yo, first of all, something about that story, you need to be like this. Hey, yo, me and my buddy Timmy, we was in New York City. We were up on 183 and 42nd Street, and we're going to this bar, and then he says, hey, go get one on the ice chest, forget about it, boom. And then he pulls this one out.
A couple of beers and get a couple of 2 or 3 glaze.
Yeah, a couple of 2 or 3 of these, A couple of 2 or 3 of these later, we was feeling good, And then this fucking guy comes out of nowhere. He says, "Pow!" And you say, "You start with me? You want some?" I don't know. It's just sounding like that. Does everyone take, dude? Mike says, "Has anyone ever told Nate you look like Jeremy Renner?" Go to the beginning of this show, and we were talking about this. Nice. Usually Nate gets the glass bottle. All right. Yes, Nate is a bottle drinker. We're going into the scorecard. Here we go. You got that, Forget about it.
Something, dude. A little something.
All right, taste. You know what you're getting. You know that this beer isn't going to lift you up and kind of give you that double IPA feeling, really make you feel like, but it's going to give you that nice subtle flavor. Like I said before, it's got a simple taste to it. It's grassy. It's got a sweetness to it. It's got just a little malt that creeps in there and says, yeah, I'm drinking a beer. And that's the cross between a Pilsner and a lager. Makes you feel welcome. Makes you want to sit down and drink it at an outdoor stadium. Like the taste. Going to give it a good score, 3.5. Nate, what do you got?
3.5 as well. I like it. It's a great cerveza. When it comes to the Mexican beers, it's probably my number one. Should be giving it a 4.0, but I'm not going to go off of my gut. 3.5.
Not bad. All right, price. Okay, you can get 2 of these for $6. All right, I bought this in the grocery store here in Los Angeles. 2 for $6. That's a phenomenal price. You're basically getting 4 beers for $6. But if you break it down and you only get one, you have to pay a little more. I didn't. I bought 2. I'm going to drink another one after the show. As I clean up the studio, I'm going to suck down another one. Forget about it, right? So 2 for $6 lands at about $3 for 2 beers. If you break it to 1 beer, it's $1.50. Excellent price. Decent beer. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 4.5. Nate, what do you got?
Yeah, so I got a 6-pack of bottles, and I'm pretty sure, I'm sorry, I should have wrote this down, but I'm pretty sure it was $8.99. It seems all 6-packs are either $8.99 or $9.99, so I don't know. I think for this beer, it's a pretty good price. It's not crazy, 4.0.
Okay, not bad. All right, design. Bubba, I'm glad you brought that back because I'm going to leave your comment up there while I talk about that. That's what I'm saying. I think this has got an excellent looking can to it. I don't know what it is, okay? It's predominantly yellow, so it's much different than a lot of the other cans, okay? The font is really cool. I love that it's an anchor and a mountain and a volcano, and down here you got the hops. I love that there's a little Spanish going on, okay? I love just overall, I really like that it's a big yellow can. As weird and oddly as that sounds, I think it's a great label. I think it's a great marketing tool. It stuck out when I saw it. Everyone knows Pacifico. Nate, throw your design up next to mine. If you look at it, definitely really sticks out. Okay, it's got that font that we like. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 4.5. What the hell? Nate, what do you got?
I'm going to go 4.0. So I'm dealing with the bottle, which is it's slightly different, but it's pretty much the same thing. Again, I like this Sailor Jerry type tattoo kind of thing here with the life preserver. I do love that it says La Cerveza del Pacifico. It's neat, it's clean. It has a little bit of an element of fun to it. 4.0.
Awesome. Okay, Mike says you can get them in Kenmore only at Dashes and Consumer Beverages. That's great that you posted that comment, Mike, because the next one is based off of accessibility. Now, here in Los Angeles, you could probably get this
Everywhere.
on somebody's fucking, excuse me. You could probably get this just hanging out on somebody's truck outside their house. This stuff is everywhere, right? But, the Hispanic community is very, very big here in Los Angeles. So Pacifico is a widely popular drink, and you can find it anywhere. Throughout the United States, I don't know. So the accessibility is going to suffer. Down in Latin America, I'm not even sure if it's that popular down there because I think it's something that's, very popular here in the western part of the United States. Like Mike said, you can find it in Kenmore at Dashes or Consumers. These are beer stores and a specific grocery. I don't know if you're going to find it much in Asia, Africa, Europe, maybe occasionally. Latin America, I don't know. Accessibility is not going to be too strong. I'm going to give it a 2.0. Nate, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go 2.5. Everywhere I've ever been when I lived in the United States, Pacifico was there. Now, when you start branching out of North America, I have a feeling that representation drops considerably. So I'm not going to go higher than a 2.5, which would be middle range. 2.5.
Okay, very good. Okay, so I worked at Consumers. I absolutely loved it. That's where I had my first real love of beer. So if you have ever been to the Consumers in Kenmore on Elmwood, I used to work there and I loved it. Going on to the last one, this is the TMD X Factor. This X Factor, I take into consideration a lot of things. But this one, for me, it's a good beer. It's a good Mexican lager pilsner. I like the can. I think that it provides a good, delicious beer. This is the kind of beer after a long, hard day, you pull up with your construction crew, you just crack it. It's delicious. It's fun. It's easy. And for me, it's not really much more to think about when you think about the TMD factor. It's just a good, solid beer, like a Labatt's, like a Molson, right? Here in Los Angeles, this is the preferred drink. I'm going to go ahead and give it a score of a 3.5. Nate, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm going 4. I think it's better than that. I think it's the elite Mexican beer. If you're going to rank all of them, the Pacifico is going to be the best, and I'm a big Mexican beer fan. So, yeah, I'm going to go 4.0.
Very nice, my friend. Very nice. Giving it a good score. I like to see you coming around. I really like it. Nate is notorious for giving low scores. Guys, I've totaled up the scores. I've gave the Pacifico a respectable, a good one, a one that registered very well, and it is going to get a good score of an 18 for Travel Man Dan. The Pacifico rings in at 18. Check that out. There it is. That's the scorecard. Hope you guys enjoyed it. That's what we gave it. Nate, what did you go ahead and give it?
An 18.
18.
Dude,
wow.
The first time we've got the same score, I think. But yeah, it's a really good beer. Again, it's
high five.
Boom, boom.
Two geeks, right? Middle-aged men geeks.
May the fourth be with you, dude. May the fourth be with you.
Buzz. That's great, man. That's awesome. All right. Well, that is pretty much it for the drinking. We had an 18 for the Pacifico for me, and I had an 11.5 for the Bud Light Chelada Clamato. Nate, give us your final score, and I'm going to go ahead and segue off into the quote of the week.
17 and a half, 18. Boom.
All right. Okay. Nate, before we signal off, would you like to say something for everyone before you take off? Anything about eat it or not? Anything?
No, not about eat it or not, but I'm super excited that we've been able to kind of commemorate Cinco de Mayo. It's a big deal here, especially in the Southwest and the West Coast of America. And also Mother's Day this weekend. Like I said before, Mother's Day is just an excuse to get your mom some chocolates or some flowers. You should be doing that every single day. So when Mother's Day comes around, you don't have to do it. This whole life is predicated on you having a mom. Celebrate that every day.
Well, that's awesome, dude. I appreciate that. I'll be sure to get Geraldine something. I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys with this, and this is the quote of the week. I hope you guys go ahead, think about this, and meditate when you're driving. Maybe think about it, just whatever. Put some time in to think about this. We're not going to get too spiritual. We're not going to get too philosophical. I'm just going to tell you this. It comes from the Dalai Lama, and the Dalai Lama is on very much agreement with myself. And he said, once a year, go someplace you've never been before. And wow, when I read that quote, I was like, that's the one. That's the one I've been thinking about. And it's so true because, I call myself Travel Man Dan. My friends know me as Danny. I work in the movies as an actor. So I have a very kind of eclectic, fun, fulfilled life. But one thing that has always been at the forefront of all of that is going different places, meeting different people, having new experiences, checking that new place out, and getting excited about it. When you go ahead and you finally book that ticket to go to that new country that's been on your list for a long time, or that new town, or that new thing, and then that build up, that 2-3 weeks before you go, that build up, it's so important in your life. It's so important for your mojo, for you to be inspired, for you to get that inspiration to go see it. Then you go see it, and boom, if you find out that's the one, you get lucky, and your whole perspective can change. Okay, then for when you come back and you go back into your normalcy, because everyone has normalcy, right? Even Travel Man Dan stays at home and goes to work every day in LA, but I still go out there and do it. I always pick a few places each and every year to go someplace new. It doesn't matter if you're filthy rich or if you're just getting by. You can find a new place in this world to go visit, to go ahead and give you that perspective, to fulfill yourself, to go ahead and change what you might not even ever known to be a part of you. Sometimes you see stuff that you don't even know you wanted to see, and it changes or alters your life in ways that stay with you for the rest of your life. So as the Dalai Lama said, apparently he knows a lot of things about philosophy. Who am I? Just a blue-collar guy living in LA, going after an acting career in Buffalo, but specifically just a kid from Kenmore. But I'm telling you guys, no bullshit. Go someplace new. Plan it out. Get ready. Prepare yourself. Go someplace new each and every year of your life, and you will be fulfilled. You'll be changed. But just the buildup of going there is exciting. And that's pretty much it. We got Tenacious Freak saying goodbye. One of my backyard is one of those places. Alyssa, I hope that you get to see somewhere great and new, and each and every year you find somewhere that's exciting. Nate is no longer with us. I'm just going to run through the last bit of comments, not missing it totally. Yes, no, you are here. Aquanuts, Tenacious Freak, thank you so much. Who dropped to the floor? Oh, he's still there. Thanks for hopping on with us in the morning. Nate, do you have any last-minute words before we take off?
No, I can't. Hey, by the way, I will not be here next weekend. I apologize for that. I'm going to be on a trip with my family with no Wi-Fi and no internet connection. Otherwise, I would be here.
Awesome. Dude, Mike Capella is our guy, dude. I love it. Look at this. Nate, would you read this before we go? He typed it up. We owe him the respect to read it.
Ron Del Berrolito to score points with the Latin American community. This is a Puerto Rican rum that is notorious for its aversion to advertising because they don't need to. Hugely popular in Puerto Rico. This is the family distillery of one of my soldiers. My family home is butted up right next to the distillery in cane fields. I know this is not a beer worth mentioning to those who would want to try something very central to local flavor. It has almost a slightly, and I mean slightly, I don't know what else is being said, slightly sweet something, I guess.
Oh, wait, there's more. I love it.
It's cut off, Danny.
Okay, I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure. But we'll get back to it. Mike,
you're awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, if you would love to bring that person that you know from Puerto Rico onto the show, we'd love to have him or her as a guest. guys, that's going to close out the show. So I had a great time. Thank you so much, Nate, for hopping on, being a part of the show. Next week, we'll have a guest. I'm not sure who it is. I have an idea, but I'm not going to leak it. Stay tuned. Thank you so much. That's Nate, the test bunny from Eat It or Not. I'm Travel Man Dan. Hold on a minute. You want the full screen? Thank you so much, everybody. I'm Travel Man Dan. And remember, it's a big world out there. Make sure you see every bit of it. Thanks, guys. That was so much fun. All right. All right, Bergs. Wow. We're going to end it now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.
See you guys.